Play It By Ear podcast. The podcast where the topics may vary because, hey, we play it by ear. And now your hosts, Aric Fiscus, Brady Liming, and Todd Griffin.
Because, hey, we play it by ear.
Caught me mid-jam.
Excuse me.
Hey.
All choked up here. Welcome to episode 34 of the Play It By Ear podcast. And as you can tell by our Halloween-themed countdown, this is my costume.
This is my
The other
scary
two,
face.
yeah, it's pretty scary. The other two party poopers did not dress up. I dressed up. Well, we welcome you. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'll have you know, it's Red Ribbon Week. I was actually wearing a Hawaiian shirt today. That's our theme. So you're lucky that I went to the black hoodie to get a little bit more scary. Otherwise, I would have been dressed like Magnum PI.
Well, or Don Ho.
And you have no idea what I'm wearing underneath of the screen here.
Nor do I want to know.
My lower half could be all decked out for Halloween.
Nor do I want to know. Well, we welcome you to episode 34. My co-host, Brady Liming, there in the middle, and Todd Griffin.
Howdy.
I guess either we should all put our last names on the screen or none of us.
I was going to say, why is my last name on the screen?
I don't know. Did you type it in?
Because if anybody gets angry, they know who to direct their email toward.
Yeah.
There's our Don Ho reference. Tiny bubble.
I guess that is what when we signed in. I'll change it for next time, or you guys change yours, but either way.
Fair enough. All right, real quickly with the housekeeping duties. And by the way, I know a lot of you are watching and some of you listen audio. So we do this for the benefit of the audio people who can't see all these little banners I'm going to put up. So I'll go through them quick. Audio, you can find us on anchor.fm/Play It By Ear podcast. Also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and the iHeartRadio app, and most anywhere you find your podcasts. On video, you can find us on YouTube. Currently, we are broadcasting live on YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, welcome. Social media, we are currently on Facebook Live, and that can obviously be viewed at any time you like because it is archived there. You can search us Play It By Ear podcast on Facebook. At Twitter, we are also broadcasting live there as well via the Periscope app at Play It By Ear Pod 2. And you can also find us on Instagram at Play It By Ear podcast with underscores between all those words. Interact with us. Our email address is playitbyearpodcast2020@gmail.com. You can also leave a voice message. There's a link at your podcast provider. And if you leave a voice message, we can insert you live. Well, probably not live because you left a voice message, but we can insert your voice into our audio as well.
It's been a while since we've had a voice message.
I know, and we say that every time. It's been a while.
That's why I said it.
I think people are just resigned to commenting on Facebook, which is all well and good. That's fine.
Yeah.
The way you'd like to interact is
Sign away.
good with us. Again, hat in hand, if you want to support what we do financially, for example, the software you're watching us on does cost money. We don't have a whole lot of expense, but we do have some. So our labor of love, if you'd like to help us with that, you can go to anchor.fm/Play It By Ear podcast /support. We would appreciate anything.
I do have an orange and black pencil in my hand. I just realized that.
Ooh.
Well, close enough, I guess.
Listen up.
Yes.
All right. So, as you know, if you've been with us before, let me hide that. That's not right. If you've been with us before, you know how this works. And it is, we all bring a topic to the table and we discuss that topic for 20 minutes. And we have not discussed the topic prior to now. So it will be organic discussion is what we always call it. And I have to type this in.
Dive it in.
I forgot to change it.
While you're doing that, I would like to wish everyone a happy Halloween.
All Hallows.
All Hallows Eve. All right, topic number one, and we are in the order where we will present our topics. If you're watching us, I am on the left of your screen. Brady's in the middle. Todd will round out the episode with his topic on the right. So, topic number 1, which is me, is a list of the best and worst Halloween candy. Now, we all know way back when we would go trick-or-treating, we would anticipate, I guess is the best word, of the best candy we might get in our trick-or-treat bucket, bag, whatever you happen to be carrying at the time. Sack.
Sack it.
First off, it's beggar's night. It's going begging, not actually begging. It's going begging, not trick or treating.
You begging strips.
You did your studies. You did your studies, and then you went begging.
Anywho, so I have found a list on candystore.com, which is the exhaustive list. They actually, now there are people, I guess if you're called candystore.com, you put a lot of thought into the candy portion of our society, and you look at every list ever put out of best candies and worst candies, and you conglomerate those lists into a massive meta study of best and worst candies. So that's what this is. We have the
Candy
10 best
database,
and we have the 10 worst. So I think the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to start with the worst. And I will just ask you all, and I'll ask everyone who is with us here, all 16 people, as I see on my screen. Full size, yes, full size. Not fun size, full size. That's always best. And we've talked about fun size on this show before, which is not fun at all. I want a fun as big as my car. That's a big candy. That's my fun. Not these little things here. But anyway, so I will ask you and our viewers here, and I'm going to start with worst. So, of the top 10 worst candies, or the bottom 10, I don't know how you want to say that, but anyway, what do you feel is on the list? Chime in, doesn't matter. And I'll tell you where it is if it's on the list.
Okay, one that comes to my mind is black licorice candies.
Black licorice candies comes in at number 10.
10 worst?
Man.
Number 10 on 10 worst.
So this is 10 from the bottom.
Yes, this is the bottom. I guess the way you look at this, it would be the worst candy ever if it's black licorice, according to what these lists are. But
I was looking at it backwards. I was thinking the number 1 worst candy would be number 1.
Would be the Pits of Heck one.
That you're probably right, though. You probably are right.
Okay.
So black licorice does not include Twizzlers. Twizzlers are a different breed. Specifically, black licorice, number 10 on the bottom 10 candies.
Although I think Twizzler brand, or I think they make a black Twizzler, like a licorice flavored Twizzler.
For people who like punishment.
Yeah. My dad likes black licorice. It's not good for either.
So I've got several people over on the comments here who are chiming in. I'm just going to throw them up there. All these things I'm going to throw up here are on the list.
I will say
throw up the candies.
Candy corn will be on there, but they would be wrong.
There's candy corn.
Right away we got candy corn.
Candy corn. Candy corn is on the worst list.
So I have a weird thing about candy corn. I like candy corn. There's 2 different color combinations of candy corn. There is the white, orange, yellow combination. And there's traditional, and there's the white, orange, brown color trio. And I think that trio tastes better, although I'm not sure that it's any different flavored. To me, it tastes better.
I think it comes from the same vat. It just has different coloration.
Indeed.
I have to agree with Ruth. Bit of honey.
Yeah, bit of honey, not good, but it is not on the list, on either list.
Really? It should be called bit of money because there's an emergency room rush to the dentist because after you chewed into a bit of honey, you might have a bit of tooth left.
Yeah. Another thing, I'm going to stick with candy corn here because I really do think that if candy corn by itself, I can see not liking it, but if you throw that bag of candy corn in a bowl full of peanuts, it becomes magic. And it's like every bite is like a payday.
Okay, peanuts as in orange circus peanuts.
No. Was it Brady who said he found there was one giant orange peanut? We had that conversation one time. Brady's mythological giant orange circus peanut.
In one individually wrapped bit of hell.
I've never seen one giant individually wrapped circus peanut.
Okay, Amber Smith says candy corn plus peanuts equals payday.
Exactly. And so I think a lot of people, if they don't like candy corn, should at least try it mixed in a bowl full of nuts. And I think you'll change your opinion of it. But a standalone candy, I'll give it to you. It's not very strong.
Okay, Josh, with the wax pop bottles, which we talked about before.
Yes, they are foul.
Necco wafers.
What is it?
2 votes for Necco wafers. Orange circus peanuts, as we've already said. Peanut butter nougat. Now, I don't know
just in
what
general
he means by the peanut butter nougat because I'm thinking I know what he means.
Is it one of those individually wrapped things?
And I'm thinking it's on the list here. Another vote for circus peanuts. Kurt says anything with coconut.
I agree, Kurt.
Oh, Mounds.
Yeah.
Ruth is all about the bit of honeys because she works at the dentist office. So, I mean, that kind of keeps her in business. So that's good.
Yeah.
All right. So the ones I just showed here, we got wax pop bottles, we got Necco wafers, we got orange circus peanuts, all on the list. Where do you think they fall?
That orange circus peanut's got to be close to the top. Just that foul orange
or bottom
mallow nougat.
So where do you think? Where do you think?
I think the orange circus peanuts. I think it's not one. It's pretty repugnant.
Oh, I got one. What are the one things? There's a licorice flavor when they're are they good and plenty? What are the
good
oh
and plenty,
yeah.
Are they licorice? Like one's black, one's white?
One's black, one's white. Both are awful.
Good and plenty number 9, right above or below, again, however the case may be, with black licorice, which makes sense. I mean, they're right there together. All right, so
Mrs. Wilson says red wax lips. Were they actually candy?
Lips. That could be a novelty. Is that a novelty or a candy?
Cigarettes, novelties, party tricks. Little Top Gun, or excuse me, Top Secret.
Top Secret. Top Gun.
Sorry.
All right, so what do we say? Necco wafers.
They got to go up there for me. They're just too chalky, too dusty.
Yeah, it's like a Polydent with candy flavoring.
Now, if you could take...
I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to circus peanuts. Brady says it's near the top. He says it's the top or bottom, which again, whichever way you look at it. Circus peanuts are 3rd on the worst list.
Okay.
Wax Coke bottles are 4th on the worst list.
So is it the wax people don't like, or do they not like the juice in them?
Is there juice in it?
There's juice in it. Yeah. What do you think?
Juice?
You don't just eat
sugar, water, juice.
You just chew the paraffin and it like
no. The correct way you eat it is if you pretend this is the wax bottle, you take a scissor and you snap the top off, or you bite it off. You spit it out, and then you drink the juice, and then you wad it up and throw the rest of it away.
Or you could throw the whole bottle in your mouth and chew up.
I've done that before too. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so wax Coke bottle. I'm going to read the description here on this list. The wax Coke bottles are holding down the number 4 spot. The novelty of these is great. The first time you get one when you're 5 years old, then the realization sinks in. You're biting through wax to get to not even a mouthful of sugar water. By age 8, you toss them in the trash without even looking. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I think we should on air sometime see how many of those we can each eat.
At once? Okay, so Necco wafers, number 6 on the list.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Necco wafers make me think of Mal's grocery store in Sardinia.
It is unbelievable, Aric. I ate a Necco wafer because that was one of the only candies they had, and that's when I saw it, and that's the only time I've seen it in the wild, non-ironically. And it was, yes, and it was at Mal's. That's unreal.
you can get them at Cracker Barrel. You can get all these candies at Cracker
True.
Barrel.
True.
Yeah.
And again, complaints, just to kind of give you a Reader's Digest version of this right up here. They are dry and chalky. That's the big complaint.
So we could turn this into another game, Aric. Remember when Bob and Tom used to have Fix the Joke Baby?
Yeah.
We could do Fix the Candy, like kind of like I did with candy corn. But I almost think if you take your Necco wafers and you somehow had a sandwich candy made from Necco wafers with some sort of frosting in the middle, it could be okay.
Like candy Oreo things.
Yeah, yeah.
I was thinking Necco wafer and maybe some gum, like the gum burger, you know.
Ruth, I was actually going to bring up the peanut butter, the nougats, and the little black and orange wrappers, but they're
Those
some of
are
my
repulsive.
favorite. They're some of my favorite candies.
Ew. Seriously?
Yeah, I like them.
Repulsive.
So I guess I like Bit of Honey because aren't they the same? But Bit of Honey doesn't have peanut butter flavoring though, do they?
Bit of honey tastes like honey, hence.
Yeah, but I think they're the same consistency as the little orange and black wrapper.
Indeed. Could
But
be as hard as a 3 million year old diamond. Could be chewy.
Yeah.
You just never know.
Once again, that's going to send Ruth some business.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right. So number 8 on this list is Mary Jane's.
What are Mary Jane? I thought those were shoes.
No,
I
Mary
thought
Jane's
it
were like
was
in that
contraband.
in that baby poop colored wrapper. That yellow baby poop colored wrapper with the black writing.
Can you bring up a picture?
Yeah, I should be able to. And I believe Mary Jane's are very similar to the ones in the black and orange wrappers.
No,
And according to the write-up here, Mary Jane candies just came back onto the market. That's why they have re-entered our list. All right, so I've got.
I can't comment on it because I'm not sure what it is yet.
While you're doing that,
I'll
I'll
see
catch
this.
people up. Howard says Boston baked bean candy. Again, I'm a fan of
Ew.
those. And then Ruth says that maybe put more of a jelly gummy in between the Neckos. I agree.
Here's your Mary Jane's.
So that's basically a
Bit of honey.
well, but it's a Tootsie Roll. It's like a
Oh, but I think it's the same candy as the black and orange wrapper ones.
just different shaped.
Yeah.
And name brand.
Also, Mary Jane's are made by the Necco people, interestingly enough.
Who, interestingly enough, ran the gulags in Siberia. It's same torturous people.
I tend to
Right.
think though any candy in roll shape automatically tastes better than if it's in. They're easier to manage.
So Rachel says dots. My wife likes
Oh.
dots.
Wait a minute. Now dots
I like
aren't those
dots,
like
okay.
they're like gumballs
Like the
kind of,
little-
aren't they?
Like the little gel.
Yeah, like a
They're gummies, aren't they?
yeah. I
They're
was gonna
kinda
say
like
gummy.
Just don't get the fat free ones or sugar free ones, whatever they were.
Howard says Mary Jane's are crossed between Bit of Honey and peanut butter, which I think he's probably right about that.
Yeah, and I do think the orange and black candies are the same family. I think it's the same family of candy. They're distant cousins.
If
Boston
somebody
baked beans are not in the list, by the way.
Ooh. If somebody
right.
would have walked up to me and said, "Hey, I need a bag of Mary Jane's," I would think I was being solicited for drugs.
Okay, now I've read
Last
these
Dance with
little.
Mary Jane's.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I've read these little write-ups here, and now we do have some clarification. Number 2 on the list are the black and orange wrapper candies called Peanut Butter Kisses.
Mm-hmm.
Not a very good kiss, in my opinion.
Oh man.
Ugh.
Jumping all the way to number 2 from number 5 2 years ago. Generic looking candies with a plain orange or black wrapper, really on the move, and could be a social media movement funded by Putin to discredit these.
So then they're saying. So that clarification is saying that they're improving.
Well, no, they're improving on the list, which means they're getting worse.
Yeah, I tend to think if you slap a brand name on those things and gave them a makeover, gave them a facelift on their advertising and their wrapping, I think people would like them a lot more.
Buy a bag of Vladimir Sharinkos.
Candy
People-
corn.
Number
Not
one.
Candy corn. Number 1. I believe. Did I already say that? Circus Peanuts 3, Wax Coke bottles 4. Couple surprises on this list, I believe. Smarties number 5.
Oh, come on.
I like Smarties.
I do
not
too.
that bad.
Necco Wafer 6. Tootsie Rolls number 7.
Come on.
I think that's ridiculous myself. Mary Jane's 8, Good and Plenty 9, and licorice, black licorice number 10.
Now, if we're talking those grape, like the purple and the green Tootsie Roll,
Well, Fruities.
I don't like those.
See, I like those.
I like Fruities.
Yeah, it's
And the
difficult to
vanilla
find
Fruity?
a bag of them.
I like the vanilla Fruities.
Yeah.
I think
There's
the cherry
the orange
fruity is better.
Fruities and the green Fruities and the vanilla Fruities.
Don't like the green ones.
Orange Fruities.
Are the green ones like lime flavored?
Sour apple.
Sour apple?
Yeah.
That's a sour apple.
Mary Jane sold in a dime bag. It's wrong, Mary Jane. Sorry.
No.
All right. So now to the best. And I say the best because I think most people probably will come up with these 10 in some form or fashion. And I'm going to go back up here on comments because I want to show it because Jim said it first. Reese's by far is the best, according to him.
That's what
I
I thought
agree.
would be number one.
And I will just go ahead and say Reese's is number 1.
I agree, James.
Yes.
Doesn't matter what shape you make that Reese cup. I mean, if it's Easter, it's an egg. If it's Christmas, it's a tree or a Santa.
Fruitsy rolls. Exactly.
So what shape is the Halloween Reese? Are they bat shaped or? I think they are. I think they are bat shaped. Do not laugh at me. I believe
No,
they are bat shaped.
I wasn't sure what you were going to say. I heard I was like, what's going on?
That's where my head went.
Yeah.
So can somebody confirm what shape the Reese cups are for Halloween?
They're pumpkins.
Pumpkins?
Pumpkins.
They're not pumpkins.
Pumpkin.
Not
Joni
pumpkin.
Smith agrees. Pumpkin. No, that's Chico sticks. Pumpkins. Pumpkins.
I like Chico sticks.
I like
also
Chico
says
sticks too.
Pumpkin shaped.
I just had one
All
last
right.
week.
I stand
Howard,
corrected.
pumpkin shaped.
I stand corrected.
Brooke, pumpkin shaped. How many people? Kyle, pumpkin shaped. Do I need to go on?
I guess not.
The-
Somebody
our-
see,
our audience-
if they were ever in bat shape form.
Our audience comes out strong.
Yeah.
Cynthia, pumpkin shaped. So I'm going to just keep putting this in your face.
We got it. We get it, people.
Pumpkin shaped. Pumpkin shaped.
I think they were
Amber,
bat-shaped
pumpkin
once.
shape. Yes.
I think you already showed her answer once. You can't show it twice.
No. I showed Joni's pumpkin shape.
First off,
Amber's pumpkin shaped.
those are all wrong because they're spelling it pumpkin, and we all know it's pumpkin.
And I'm not going to show this one here.
Thank you. I knew it.
All right.
I knew I'd eaten a bat wing made of peanut butter.
Well,
All right. Others on the best list.
Is that how COVID got started?
is a Hershey's Kiss on that list?
A Hershey Kiss is not on the list. However, a Hershey Bar is on the list at number 10.
Mhm.
I wouldn't consider Hershey Kisses a Halloween candy.
No, not really. You could buy a bag of Hershey Kisses, and they're kind of cheap. Like I could see people trying to do the economical if they live in a big suburb with lots of trick or treaters, where they could get away with just throwing one in a bag. And they
If
reminds
you
me
live in such a suburb, you're not getting away with throwing in kisses in the bags.
Well, and the Hershey Kiss has kind of it's kind of followed the other. We've had this conversation before about all the different variations of candies. Hershey
Yeah.
Kiss has done that. There are so many different specialty flavors of Hershey Kisses. My favorite being chocolate covered cherry flavored Hershey Kisses.
Ooh,
by the way, you
yeah,
can find those
those are
around
good.
Christmas time.
I like the zebra kind, where they're white chocolate with chocolate stripes.
Good question, Miss Wilson.
Yes.
I just needed one person to confirm they were bat shaped.
Did you bite the head off of it, Todd? All right. Others in the top 10. Any guesses?
I've got one if Todd doesn't.
Go ahead.
M&M's.
M&M's are number 2.
Oh, then I'll see they were higher than I thought they would be. I knew they'd be on the top 10, but
Jumped
that's
3
not who I
spots
thought
to
number.
take number 2. They were 5. Becky says gross on the chocolate covered cherries.
Have she had them? Aric, have you shared your chocolate covered cherry kisses with her?
I think so.
Yeah, I think they're dark chocolate. As a matter of fact, I think they are dark chocolate covered cherry Hershey kisses.
Ruth, Jim.
I'm going Butterfingers.
I'll say Snickers. Snickers number 3.
Butterfinger.
See, that's who I thought number 2 would be.
Butterfinger. Becky, yes, she's had them. Butterfinger number 8.
Yeah.
Down 1 spot from number 7.
The dollar store edition, which would be margarine thumb. Slow
Tootsie
burn
Rolls.
there.
Tootsie Roll Pops.
It was a slow burn. Laffy Taffies, not on our top 10 list. And not on the bottom 10 list either, obviously.
Are Tootsie Pops on there?
Which is better, Nestle Crunch or Hershey Crack? Ooh, that's a whole
Nestle
topic in and of itself almost.
Yeah.
2 variations of the same, although I think I like Hershey chocolate better, just slightly.
I like Hershey chocolate better, but the Nestle Crunch it works.
But the crackled rice is the same in both.
Puffed rice.
Puffed.
Bloated rice.
Skittles.
Ooh.
Dismissed that. Skittles number 4 on our list.
Ruth, good call, because I do love a Skittle.
Howard with Milky Ways. Milky Ways not on our list.
Oh, get out of town, really. What about the 3 Musketeers?
Celia agreeing with Tootsie Pops.
I haven't got an answer from
Tootsie
Fiskus.
Rolls on the other list.
He's been ignoring me. I've said Tootsie Pops like 5 times, and you haven't responded yet.
Sorry, Tootsie Pops not on our list. Tootsie Rolls
poop.
obviously were on the list, but Twizzlers.
Twizzlers
not on our list.
Sweet Tats.
Sweet Tats not on our list.
What about the popcorn ball things? Do they count that as a candy?
No.
Should be.
You know, you've gone the fruity path.
Sorry.
Okay, so Kit Kats.
Oh.
Cynthia, number 7 on our list.
Kit Kat.
No Blow Pops.
So no suckers at all?
No York Peppermint Patties. Celia says the rolls suck too.
You can log right off, Celia.
That's you could just log off.
You could just
Right
log
now.
the hell off.
Log right off a cliff.
Log off. 3 Musketeers, not on our list. Blow Pop suckers. No suckers on the list.
No suckers.
None. Kit Kats, number 7.
What about Yaw Breakers?
No Yaw Breakers. Snickers was on the list.
Have we had
Tootsie Rolls?
We've surely had 10 by now. Are we missing some
Yaw
still?
Breakers. No Starburst. That's a good guess though. So let me go. We're missing one. We have not guessed one of them, and I'm surprised we haven't guessed this one.
Can you give us a like a category you
It
put it
is
in?
a candy bar.
What you
Molly
call it?
Ranchers? Nope. Celia, Monkey's uncle.
It's made out of the same stuff that the brown section of candy corn is made out of. It's not real chocolate,
Candy bar.
but it's still good.
It's Folklet.
What candy bar we haven't?
Kyle
Zeros?
with the final one in the top 10.
Nice.
No.
Nice job,
Now,
Kyle.
is it the double? Is it the Twix or is it just a Twick? An individually wrapped Twick?
It's usually back in the day you only got full size candy bars.
Yeah.
1 Twix, 2 Twix, red Twix, blue Twix.
Like, open up that Twix and hand me a Twick is the way it.
What about
Henry?
You don't see those much anymore. But that's a good bar.
Do you know what was a good candy bar? And I know we mentioned it, the milkshake bar. No, I never got one at
Just the
Halloween.
bar.
Yeah, it's just depends on the part of town. Exactly.
Ooh, that's true. That's true.
And yes, we have the left or the right Twix. That's easy for me to say.
What about the little little chocolate eyeball wrapped in the foil? Remember those?
Chocolate eyeball.
Yeah, the little round, just foil wrapped candy with the foil.
I know what you're
eyeball.
talking about. Yeah, yeah. It's akin to like the Easter
like the
rabbits.
egg. Yeah,
It's like the
egg
Easter
and-
rabbits, but they're Halloween themed.
Yeah, like the generic. Like there were no name
more
on
wax
it.
than chocolate.
Yeah.
All right.
Can
Good
I
topic.
just throw this one in real quick? I'll tell you what disappoints me more than anything is when I get less chocolate and more. Now, Skittles are a what do you call it? An exception. But I don't like getting like bottle caps, Sour Patch Kids, Airheads, Warheads, anything sour instead of yeah. That's always a disappointment to me. Like I'm trick or treating now, but I just.
You have to use great care when you eat your ill-gotten bounty from your trick or treat. I mean, you're mixing the sour stuff and the sweet stuff and the chocolate and there's got to be a plan in place.
Rachel said Whoppers. I remember Whoppers. I remember getting those quite.
I like Whoppers.
My Halloween basket.
All right, topic 2, Brady liming.
All right, it is time. We cannot discuss Halloween without discussing scary stuff and specifically scary movies and some weird things that exist in the scary realm, the scary movie realm. So with that, what did you find scary? What was not realistic? What's stupid about scary movies? Was it scary now? Was it scary then? What was scary then? Is it scary now? There's all kinds of interesting discussion points on this topic, and you're going to see a plethora of them, I think. So just by a show of hands, gentlemen, I'm going to show their hands for you. Todd is a horror movie fan. Aric is not a horror movie fan, and I'm right in the middle.
Not because they scare me. It's just
because you don't like them. You don't enjoy them.
Yeah, my wife loves to watch them. I just don't.
Yeah,
get into
and
it.
I'm 50-50 down the middle. There's a certain kind of horror movie I like, and there's some that I won't give them a time of day. So Todd, to start us off, like we were talking about like what was scary. Like everybody thinks the 80s is the classic horror movie era. Halloween, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. But have they aged well as we think? You have a teenager.
I've talked to my son. He likes scary movies as well. My daughter is starting to watch them. They find them. I think it's a lot of the age we were when they were out that makes them stand out so much as being scary. So I don't know that I don't know that they're. I guess holding up is different than are they successful now? Do they accomplish their goal now? I don't think they accomplish for today's teenagers what they did for us, but I do think they hold up well. You watch the original Halloween, and I think it holds up very nicely. Mrs. Wilson just mentioned The Exorcist. I still think that's the scariest movie ever, and I think it holds up well. So I do think they hold up. In fact, I think they hold up much better than the remakes of a lot of the movies that they have tried to do. The original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, bar none, is better than any of the remakes they've made of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Same with the original Nightmare on Elm Street. Halloween.
Now the Rob Zombie.
The first one was good. The second one was terrible. Yeah. So I think they hold up.
So let me ask you this: as far as The Exorcist goes, do you think The Exorcist was scarier because there was a modicum of truth to it, like someone could actually be possessed by a demon and have to be exorcised, or does that play into it at all?
I think it plays into it. I think that you can't talk scary movie without talking soundtrack, without talking the sound, the music. You mentioned Halloween. Without the iconic music, The Exorcist without Tubular Bells. I think it's just kind of the whole package. But I think there is something to that, Aric. And even Halloween, like some of those movies, the very first ones, they were realistic, at least at the time to us. It's like, okay, this could happen until the end of that movie. Spoiler alert. Until the end of the movie, it's pretty realistic. Now Nightmare on Elm Street, not so much, but
But you could wrap your head around it because everybody has that fear of having a nightmare that you can't wake up from.
Yeah.
And what happens in your nightmare could really do you in. That was a neat concept where it could get you in your dream so you can't fall asleep. I liked that. But then if you look at the first Nightmare on Elm Street, and then it stopped being about the scare and it became more about Freddy Krueger, the franchise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it became the dream where no one is projectile to
That's true. Maybe it's the special effects and how special they were.
And then, demonic possession has been talked about, for centuries and centuries and is biblical and everything. The Exorcism of Emily Rose was, not necessarily marketed as a horror movie, but was scary.
That movie combined two of my favorite genres of horror movie and courtroom drama. And so that was a fantastic movie, by the way. But again, based on a real case. That you can go and look up. You can go and search that particular case and find like audio of the exorcism and stuff from that movie. But Aric, could kind of piggyback off what you said. As I get older, the only movies that kind of scare me anymore are the ones that are more realistic. I put up there, great movie, The Shining. I put up there one of the movies that scared me the most was called The Strangers with Liv Tyler. Because there's nothing about it that is unrealistic. I mean, it could happen. It's and it was watching it and being in a dark house alone at night. I mean, you can kind of, it definitely kind of hits you pretty hard.
Yeah.
And I'd put this up. I'd never seen nor heard of the Tingler.
True story. Howard McLean. We were on vacation in St. Augustine, Florida. It was a rainy day. And we just flipped it up, and they had like one of those, local networks, and they played the Tingler. And Howard, you'll have to chime in. Wasn't it about a spine, a literal spine that went around killing people? It was somebody's backbone.
Someone's backbone had taken on life itself, and
I could be, but I swore it was the Tingler because my mom got to hysterically laughing at it. It's like, be careful where you walk because it might be the Tingler, and we just thought it was silly, and it was very campy.
I think somebody won a Tingler when that Halloween show he played Brady and hosted by Adam and Eve or whatever, and they were giving away free gifts. I think the Tingler was one of the free gifts that.
Yes.
Sorry, I went a long way for that inside joke, and hopefully some people got it.
The Invisible Man.
Invisible Man.
Invisible Man.
Strangers.
Thank you, Ruth. Strangers, yes.
The first movie that, as not a small child, but the first really gory, like, horror movie that I watched with a group of friends, and it was The Evil Dead, the first one. And it scared the heck out of me because there were some things, there was some demonic possession, zombies kind of things. There was people getting stabbed in the ankle by pencils. There was people getting, violated by vines, and it was
Vine
violation. It scared me. Now those became campier as they went too. Like Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness, but the first one scared me quite a bit.
Becky mentioned Pet Cemetery. I never watched the remake. I heard it wasn't very good, but yeah, the original Pet Cemetery was darn good. And I think one thing that, without getting too kind of dark here, is one of the things that Pet Cemetery, Stephen King was so good at was, the horror, the fear of losing a child, which that is what makes that movie like, what it is. And I think that, that's one thing that, again, Stephen King is very good at tapping into our biggest fears and turning those into the monsters. And so I think that's why Pet Cemetery was so good and so scary.
And that leads me to my lead in, if it's okay. Like, the difference between like Pet Cemetery, now there's that whole genre of horror movie, and I hate to use the term, but what they call horror porn or gore porn, where everything is like super bloody, super gross. Yeah, like
the Saw movies kind of started that.
Roth movies, just dripping in blood and guts. And sometimes, it's what you don't see and what's in your head instead of actually what you see on the screen. But those like yeah.
Howard mentioned Salem's Lot. I still remember. Yeah, I remember that being pretty creepy. Isn't there a scene? I just remember a scene where the kid is in bed and like something is outside the window, like scratching on the window or whatever.
Mhm.
I think that was
Terrified me as a
Salem's Lot.
child.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Just the commercial. I never watched it.
The original Children of the Corn, Brook. Yes, very
Outlander, we've got your woman.
very very well done. The original Children of the Corn, Malachi and Isaac.
Poltergeist.
Poltergeist is a good one. This is kind of random and weird, but like, there's the Paranormal Activities. The first one was pretty original, but man, it was Paranormal Activity 3 that made me really jump in the theater. Like, it startled me and scared me to the point where, like, it's just one of those moments.
Yeah,
that,
I'm going to say to this day too. It probably doesn't seem scary to anyone who kind of knew the what was up but I got on the ground floor of the Blair Witch. And when I say the ground floor, I mean like before the movie come out, the marketing campaign behind it, which nobody knew was a marketing campaign. I mean, if I might be a little bit wrong here, but I think they put it out as like a documentary, or like they put out a documentary about it. And so people thought it was real. And then, the movie came out, and to this day, that movie, I still think was one of the scariest movies because of the way it was done. And if you've seen that movie, the final scene, either one of you seen The Blair Witch?
And that's what makes it.
The final scene and just how, the whole concept also of them, come to find out later that they were actually scaring them while they were filming it and like recording their actual, reactions and stuff. So groundbreaking movie, to be honest with you.
So I'll chime in on this comment here. I'm for the psychological thriller because I can only suspend disbelief a little bit. So I need something, and that's why I asked that original question. I need something grounded in some sort of possibility in order to be scared, I guess. I guess someone could take a saw, like in Saw, and cut people up. I mean, that's obviously possible, but
that's more serial killer-ish and less horror, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that whole thing doesn't, I don't know if it doesn't interest me. I guess it's a little scary to think about, but the whole psychological thriller thing and someone being like insane and doing things that you don't really know what they're going to do, that's really what gets me.
Yeah, it's
Jaws.
Excellent choice.
Is the argument about, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Is Jaws a horror movie?
Well, and while we've been talking, I did bring up another list, but the 200 best horror movies of all time. And I was looking toward the top of the list, and I was kind of surprised at some of the ones that were near the top, and I'll throw another one into that same question. King Kong is number 6 on this list.
Which one?
The original, 1933. Here's King Kong, and Jaws is also in the top. Well, actually, it's 12.
Monster movies.
I think Jaws was a horror movie. And I think, speaking of psychological, I mean, that's pretty psychological. I mean, the whole idea of making people afraid to get into the water. I mean, the psychological effect that it had after. I mean, I don't know if that's what they set out to do, but that's what they accomplished.
There was a documentary about, like, and I just remember reading it, like, that affected Disney. Sorry, man.
Troll 2, Electric Boogaloo. Was that the one that, I'm thinking of the Leprechaun.
I'm thinking of Ghoulies.
With Jennifer Aniston. There's all kinds of those: Ghoulies, Leprechaun, Troll, Chud.
Cannibalistic humanoids under Detroit is what I thought it stood for years.
Critters.
Toxic Avenger.
Critters.
Yes.
But didn't beachfront businesses, they kind of suffered a little bit the summer that came out. They actually saw a decrease in business in some places.
Yeah, I think so. What was I going to say?
Celia says Jaws is as much a horror movie as Psycho is.
Yeah. I was never a big fan of Psycho. I didn't mind the remake. Who's the actor?
Vince
Vaughn. Only because I thought it was pretty neat, because it wasn't a deal where they remade the movie like almost scene for scene. Just Gremlins, Christmas or horror movie,
or both.
No, this kind of falls into the horror category, but maybe not, you guys. But One of the movies that stayed with me, I guess we technically have to call it a horror movie, but it kind of falls into the gore thing. But The Devil's Rejects, which is, I think, is a great movie. It is pretty horror, but man, after I watched that, it stayed with me for days and disturbed me.
Yeah. I saw Kyle mention The Ring. That's kind of a groundbreaking movie too.
Yeah.
Kind of one of those the concept of if you do something, you will eventually die. You'll die. Like,
yeah.
Nilbog.
Nilbog.
And
somebody mentioned Cujo earlier.
Cujo
always fascinated me.
Cujo as well, I believe.
Cujo fascinated me for one. I mean, I thought it was a good movie, but it fascinated me because how many movies do you know that pretty much the entire movie, I mean, takes place in an area as small as a car?
Yeah.
For the most part. I mean, there were some scenes, but for the most part, in a car.
I mean, Rabid Dog, that's pretty scary.
That is pretty scary. Could wrap your head around that. Could happen.
Yeah.
I always thought Hellraiser was scary.
Yeah.
And that's that whole, it's the realm where, it's a scary movie with a supernatural kind of, pinhead thing, but the whole Satanism angle and the demon, like Hellraiser was a creepy kind of scary movie to me when I watched it as a youth in high school. I don't know how.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I don't know how you guys felt about that one, but as far as I always put that on my list, it scared me.
Had a little bit of that early gore to it. I mean, Hellraiser was pretty gory. I would put Phantasm in that same Tallman. I've shared my fear of
Strawman,
old tall people.
Okay, so Get Out, and I'm going to mention this list I've got here just in passing. So Celia mentioned Psycho. Psycho's number 1 on this Rotten Tomatoes list of best horror movies ever.
Really?
Get Out is number 2.
Interesting.
Now Get Out, that's another movie I think that is frightening to me because that plays upon the human frailties of society.
Yeah.
And,
I thought it was pretty good.
I don't recall this movie.
There was a racial component to it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who made it because Key and Peele. What was the show on?
Jordan Peele was the director.
Was the director?
Oh, now I remember.
You wouldn't think would be directing horror movies, but he actually had another movie out after that called, I think it was called Us, that I really liked as well.
So Becky will take any Stephen King movie. The 2019 movie Ma, I don't know that one.
I have seen the previews, but I haven't watched it yet.
And Miss Wilson with a comment on The Ring. Don't watch, I didn't. And Matt agrees on Get Out. Full Moon Production movie, Subspecies Puppet Master. I don't.
I remember Puppet Master. I don't remember
Puppet Master. Yeah.
I remember Species 1, 2, and 3.
Ooh,
that's kind of a horror, I guess, wouldn't
it? Natasha Henstridge.
Henstridge. Nothing scary about her.
Yeah. The Matt, did you see Us? Anybody that's mentioning Get Out? Did you watch his second movie, Us? I thought you'd watch Ma. Did he direct Ma?
One of the comments above there, wasn't it?
What, Us? Ma was.
Yeah.
I didn't mention. Yeah.
I hear a lot of people talk about The Conjuring. I've not seen it yet.
Night of the Living Dead.
You never seen The Conjuring?
I've not seen The Conjuring.
Yeah.
Black Christmas.
The original?
Seen that one either. Black Christmas was on this list though.
The original Black Christmas. The original Black Christmas is from the 70s, I think. I'm pretty sure the same guy that directed A Christmas Story. Maybe I'm wrong.
Really?
I don't know. I might have just made that up.
Speaking of Christmas, when Silent Night, Deadly Night came out, it was quite controversial.
Oh, yeah.
Because the whole concept of a Santa that would come and chop people up.
Well,
that got people upset.
Yeah, to this day, I still remember that scene where he impaled the lady on a set of deer antlers.
Wow.
Which was a kind of a mocking of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, putting the people on the meat hook. So,
Todd, interestingly enough, 1974 Black Christmas, you are correct. Bob Clark.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Good.
It makes up for my peanut butter Reese's mistake
There you
earlier.
go.
Although I was verified that they used to be bat shaped.
Shutter Island. That was pretty creepy. That was pretty creepy.
Caprio.
Carrie.
Yeah.
Carrie was good.
And then there's another one, the psychological, and plays upon the teenage angst angle.
What about this? What about this new kind of wave? You had the I can't think of the names of them. You had the one with the guy from The Office, A Quiet Place. Was that what it was called? No.
Yeah, I remember Quiet. I've never seen it. I remember hearing
Is
it.
it called A Quiet Place?
Yeah.
I
Because
think
it was
so.
a part 2 getting ready to come out right before COVID hit. But you had A Quiet
Quieter
Place, which
Place?
the whole idea was you couldn't make a sound. And then you had the Sandra Bullock movie where you couldn't, the Birdhouse or the Bird Box or
I love
something like
Sandra
that.
Bullock. Go ahead.
Oh,
What's
the
that called?
Netflix original.
Yeah, it's called the Bird Box or the Bird
Yeah, the
House or
Bird
whatever.
Box.
And you couldn't look, you couldn't see. So you got a movie where you can't make a sound, a movie where you can't look. So the next one will be where you can't smell.
That us shadows or US shadow? I don't know that.
I don't know. Maybe she's talking about Us, the movie I was Peele's second movie after Get Out was Us.
Silent Night, Deadly Night.
One that a lot of people talk about that it just didn't affect me that much, but a lot of people think Serpent and the Rainbow was a terrifying movie.
Oh, I remember that movie.
Hmm.
The preview of the guy and the closing the casket on the guy with the cross on his head.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's voodoo related, some
Yes.
Santeria
Search of Darkness is I guess that's a documentary. Is that a docu?
Yeah, it's on Shudder. If you can, Shudder is like a horror network. I mean, it's all it has is scary movies on it. And
All right. Aliens or Alien.
Aliens that was the third one.
one of the
and how?
James, along the line of Aliens, one of the first movies that affected me as a Ute was The Thing. Who wrote that? That was a famous
Carpenter, wasn't it?
Carpenter, I believe. Yeah, that movie had some things that kind of messed me up for a while.
Yeah,
Joyride.
That was the. It was Joyride. Joyride was the one where they made the trucker mad.
No. That was
The Hitcher.
Ooh, that one bothered me too.
What?
The Hitcher, but
Are you talking about when the truck became possessed and
No,
started?
that was
that
Duel.
was Silver Bullet.
Yeah, Duel. Yeah,
Silver Bullet was a vampire movie. Stephen King. Yeah. Yeah. Silver Bullet was a Stephen King vampire movie. It had Corey Haim in it and Gary Busey.
Did it have Corey Feldman in it?
I think so. But Gary Busey and Corey Haim.
Did they ever appear separately?
Only
I never saw the birds.
The birds.
That gives the best of Aric sounds.
If I ever see a bird that does that, I will definitely run.
That's scary, isn't it? Hitchhiker series. Ooh, Maximum Override.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Maximum Overdrive. There's an override. But either way, that's the one with the green like goblin on the front of the truck.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of, not Silver Bullet. That's what I was thinking of.
Stephen King's first movie was like a college.
Hi, Kirsten.
Hello, Kirsten. Was a college project movie called Duel, and it was about a truck that chased a guy. Is that what you said, Aric, when you said Duel earlier? Yeah. And in sounds in Jaws, where the shark is killed and floating down the water, he uses sounds from when the truck goes over the cliff in Duel. Same sound effect, but with the shark going down to the bottom of the ocean.
Carpenter remade The Thing with Kurt Russell. The original was the monster was played by James Arness. Would that be Matt Dillon played the monster?
Marshall Dillon.
Marshall Dillon.
I didn't know that was a remake.
I didn't either.
I thought Joyride. They made the trucker mad. Didn't Joyride also have Steven Zahn in it?
I don't know about that.
Not sure about that.
All right, that was topic number 2. Todd.
All right, we're moving right along. We're going to finish early tonight.
Are we?
No, probably not.
55 minutes in.
Who are we kidding? We'll be here till tomorrow.
All right. So sticking with the Halloween theme and also continuing with the list format. And Aric, I liked what you did on your list. I was actually going to do it myself. I'm a little bit jealous you took my idea and we didn't even talk about it.
Yeah,
but I was going to
show works. We just
right. I was going to suggest that.
Simpatico.
So my list is all about songs, Halloween songs, and the rules for this particular list are. I saw them earlier. Let me find them here.
I think you texted the rules.
Yeah, that's the only thing I did text you guys. So it says songs that are traditionally played around Halloween that feature Halloween characters or spooky accompaniment. So I have a top 50 here.
Relative.
I have a top 50 here. Number 50 on the list, A Nightmare on My Street, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
Nice.
Classic.
So I guess my question is, where did Jazzy Jeff go? Whatever happened to him?
I don't know.
I heard he went to the Conservatory of Music and became classical Jeff. So,
of course.
Sorry.
So before we get going, though, I'm going to go back to what I was saying, Aric, about you stealing my idea, and you did a very nice job of it, but I'm going to steal it back. What are some songs that you guys would think that would be on this list, and then we'll cross-check and see if they're on the list.
Should I put up comments from our viewers?
Sure.
Here?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Couple comments of Thriller from Becky and
I got one.
Nice. I haven't looked at the list yet, but Thriller has to be on there.
It has to be. Or I always feel like somebody's watching me. Yeah.
Right. So I'm trying to write these down.
Monster Mash,
classic. We have Somebody's Watching Me, Thriller, Monster Mash.
Thriller. He's coming to take me away. Haha.
Has that? I remember that song. Has that Halloween themed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it's kind of scary, spooky, sort of.
Yeah.
Somebody losing their mind and did they really back in the day, like people that were mentally not well, did they really catch them in butterfly nets? Where did that even come from?
It came from Tom and Jerry, I think.
That's that's what I assumed it was. But.
Kurt says Spooky by the Classic Four.
I don't know that. Do I know that? Should I know that?
I don't know.
Another vote for Monster Mash.
And I don't think it's scary, but like I remember like one of those K-Tel things, like the hippie music. It's like a spooky little girl like you.
Yeah.
And I've never heard the song ever, but I just remember it from the commercial.
Edgar Winter's Frankenstein.
Ghostbusters.
Oh, good call. Good call.
Witch Doctor.
The Witch Doctor. Boom, boom, boom.
Another one on the along with They're Coming to Take Me Away was always on the Silly Songs soundtrack or the Silly Songs compilations.
Werewolves of London.
Ooh.
Used to sing a song in music class that always stuck with me. Now, it is Liz Odland in the room. I know she's a fan.
know this one.
Black Cats.
And flying bats.
Reese Cups.
Reese Cups.
Flying bat Reese Cups.
Oh, Aric.
I doubt that's going to be on the list, though, Celia.
I remember another music class one about they're drinking spider cider in their haunted house.
Oh yeah, I vaguely remember that.
Good song, spooky.
Love is kind of crazy with a spooky little girl like you. Thank you, Howard.
Yeah. All right. So let me know whenever. Five Little Pumpkins.
Five Little Pumpkins. Pumpkins.
Mr. Crowley.
Mr. Crowley.
Boom, boom, boom.
You got the
Purple People Eater.
One horrifying Purple People Eater.
Thinking
Freaks
everything
come out at
from Denny's A track.
Freaks come out.
Freaks come out at night. Freaks.
Zombie by the Cranberries.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
All right. Let me know when I.
Indeed, that was Michael Jackson singing the chorus. And that's Rockwell's song, Rockwell One Hit Wonder. Or is that just a half a hit since Michael Jackson sang on it as well?
Well, no, he had a very nice. He just went from paintings to singing.
Indeed.
What was the Alice Cooper song? I'll Be Your Frankenstein.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
What it's
Feed
called?
My Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Feed my.
Yeah. All on Halloween night.
That's the song that you're talking about from music class,
Yeah,
right?
yes.
Kyle says the list is bogus if it does not contain something from Smashing Pumpkins.
That's
Pumpkins.
true.
Phantom of the Opera.
Well, hey, why not? Seriously,
I love
I
the
have-
Phantom of the Opera.
I
Love
have
it.
my list. Do me to start checking these?
checking them off. Checking them off.
All right.
Bark at the Moon or How at the Moon?
Ooh, Bark at the Moon.
Bark at the Moon's Ozzy.
Yeah, it's Ozzy.
All right,
Wasn't
so-
there a song How at the Moon too?
Not sure. Number 50 was A Nightmare on My Street. Number 49, Spellbound. I don't know who that is though, because like it
Triumph?
doesn't give
Munster's theme.
Triumph
Spellbound.
had a song called
It's
Spellbound.
not Triumph. The picture has a female with dark hair. Number 48, Devil Went Down to Georgia.
Well,
Oh yeah.
47, Devil Woman.
So Anita Wells says Halloween Cat from 60s music class. Now, Anita, was that a Lynchburg music class, or I don't know where you were in music class in the 60s? But whatever music class, I don't remember Halloween Cat. Maybe they stopped singing that by the 70s.
Number 46, Every Day is Halloween. I don't know that one.
wow.
Highway to
45,
Hell.
Witchcraft.
Mhm.
Abracadabra.
43. Midnight Special. Shine a light on me.
This one just says Halloween. The Number of the Beast, Iron Maiden.
Oh yeah.
Science fiction double feature. See, I figure you from Rocky Horror.
Yeah.
Song called Halloween from the Misfits. Obviously, I'm a big Misfits fan. I know that.
Another
Chilling,
verse for-
thrilling sounds of the haunted house. That sounds like some sort of like
Music class thing.
yeah. Running with the Devil.
Running with
35.
Da-
Nightmare on
Daddy
My-
Cat? I don't know Daddy Cat. What's
I
Daddy
don't know
Cat?
Daddy Cat.
Katie, walk in Brady's room and sing Daddy Cat for us. I don't know what that is.
What is this one? Nightmare on My Street. Oh, that was Fat Boys. Because you had Fresh Prince had his version of, and then
Right.
Fat
Mhm.
Boys had Nightmare on My Street. Number 33, Pet Cemetery from the Ramones.
Evil woman.
I don't want to be buried. 32, Bark at the Moon.
Mark of the Moon. Witchy
Did we,
woman.
did we say this one? 31, Little Red Riding Hood.
Hmm.
Did we say that one?
I don't think
I
so.
don't know.
Elvira.
You guys remember who won Little Red Riding Hood, or who sang Little Red Riding Hood?
I do not.
No, I not no.
Wolfman Jack. Come on, man.
Wolfman Yak.
Wolfman Jack.
Wolfman Yak. Bat out of hell.
I'm your boogeyman. I don't know if that's what House of the Rising Sun.
It's about a brothel. It's kind of got a creepy tone to it.
Number 27, Frankenstein. I know someone said Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
26, Love Potion number 9.
Oh, yes.
25, Witchy Woman.
Witchy woman had a couple votes for that.
Yeah, the opening chords of Witchy Woman definitely has like a man.
Well, no,
See,
that's
it even
called Witchy
sung.
Woman.
Yeah, it's creepy.
24, Season of the Witch. I don't know that one.
I know that one.
23, Black Sabbath.
Oh, yeah.
22, Toccata and Fugue in D minor. Nobody gets that one.
No one had that.
I don't know what the fugue that is
What
about.
the Fugue? 21, Tubular Bells. 20, Becky. They're coming to take me away.
Oh.
Aha. Hotel California.
Hey, can I
19
stop there for a second?
Yeah.
I've always said that Hotel California would be an excellent horror movie if done properly. I think that is a horror movie that would be phenomenal that's never been made.
Yeah.
And so,
That's
yeah,
true.
thank you, Howard.
Some of
That's
these I'd
true.
like to I actually want to click on it because it doesn't give the artist on all of them. 19, Dead Man's Party. I don't know what that is.
Oh yeah, that's on
The
Boingo.
Dead Man's Party.
Oh, yes. 18, Bad Moon Rising. I know someone said that.
Yeah.
17, Psycho Killer, The Talking Heads.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that wouldn't have, that doesn't enter my head as a scary. You know what I mean? Because it's the Talking Heads. But now that you put it in the context, yeah.
16, Welcome to My Nightmare. Is that Alice Cooper?
That's Alice Cooper.
Yep.
15, Living Dead Girl. Don't know that one.
Mm-mm.
14, People Are Strange. I never would have guessed that.
People are strange.
The version that Echo and the Bunnymen play in Lost Boys adds that creepy vibe to it. Yeah.
Bus full of nuns.
13, Dragula. Rob Zombie
Oh yeah.
or White Zombie.
Jim says Hotel California is a Yelp review with a 3-minute guitar.
Very nice.
Very nice. Well done.
12, Highway to Hell.
James. Sorry.
Nobody mentioned Highway to Hell.
No. Well, no, I thought someone did up here.
I didn't write it down if they did. Don't Fear the Reaper, number 11.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I get the feeling that my 5-year-old is just hitting emojis and listening to me because there was poop emojis and cats, and so
Mr. Wilson, I think that Little Red Riding Hood, as we mentioned that earlier. I didn't know if we'd written it down, but I'd forgotten all about that one. Somebody said this one, number 10. I believe it might have been Kelly.
Same as a sham.
The Purple People Eater.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9, Halloween. The Halloween soundtrack. 8, Werewolves of London.
Mm-hmm.
7, Somebody's Watching Me.
Mm-hmm.
6, Celia, you'll be happy with this one as well. Time Warp, Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Let's do the time warp again.
5, I Put a Spell on You, which I think might be an old blues song.
Kirsten was the one that said Highway to Hell.
Yes, thank you, Kirsten. 4, This Is Halloween. I don't know what that is.
No.
3, Ghostbusters.
So what? This is Halloween. Move back to that. Is there an artist involved?
No, I wish there were more. Ranker didn't put artist on this one. There's each one of them you can click on. There's a YouTube video of each one of them, but obviously that doesn't. Number 2, Thriller.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Number 1. Anybody want to? So now that we've said them all, 50 to number 2. Does anybody care to guess number 1?
Hellhounds on My Tail by Robert Johnson.
I'm guessing not.
No, that's not it. Does any of our audience want to guess number 1?
Nightmare Before Christmas.
That's not it.
Telling You from Hocus Pocus.
Nope.
This is Halloween.
I'm gonna go. That was on there earlier. What is This Is Halloween, James?
I don't know.
Sounds like a very self-aware song.
Nightmare Before Christmas. I think that's where This Is Halloween comes from. I think that's what these two comments put together.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. Do you know the odd thing is just
James concurs there.
Just skimming through 50 through 100, I don't recognize any of them. Like it seems like the top 50. Here's a Metal Church song, Brady.
Mrs. Wilson says the Jaws theme song. I thought of that, but I think someone has hijacked his Facebook page or something.
Yes. Twilight
Ghostbusters number 1, but didn't we already say Ghostbusters was in it down the list?
Ghostbusters it was up there. Let me sneak back up to the top. Ghostbusters was number 7, I believe.
Mm-hmm. The Twilight Zone song just popped into my head. That's a stretch, though.
Yeah, it wasn't on there. Yeah, Ghostbusters was Somebody's Watching Me was number 7.
So what would be number 1?
I'll give you this. It was something somebody said.
Something somebody said.
It is one that I have written down here, yes.
Evil Woman?
No. Probably one of the most popular Halloween songs ever. Hence number 1 on the list, I guess. But yes.
Monster Mash.
Yeah, Monster Mash.
Monster Mash.
He did the mash.
He did the Monster Mash. Which also becomes George Peterson.
That is the top 50 best Halloween songs ever.
So are we in agreement with Monster Mash being number one?
Yeah, it did define the genre, honestly.
Yeah.
It's probably the first and the biggest.
I mean, it was written for that purpose.
Yeah.
It was specifically written. Well, I don't actually know the story behind it. Maybe it wasn't, but it seems like it was specifically written for Halloween.
So then it begs the question, in a Halloween song, are you looking for a song to scare you? Or are you looking for a campy Monster Mash sort of song? Or
For the season. Aric, look at it this way. Do you want Rocket Around the Christmas Tree or do you want Silent Night? So one is probably pure scare and one is rollicksome of that holiday fun. Is that an interesting take?
that is a very interesting take.
I think this. I think, we like Halloween because we all like to be scared, and it harkens back to our youth when we were scared of everything. But when you go to a Halloween party, you don't go to be scared. You go for campiness and fun and dancing and drinks and things like that. So I think Monster Mash lends itself to a Halloween celebration more than, not only that, but is anyone actually scared of a song?
So here's a question. If we want to get all psychological about this, do the campy ones help you deal with the scare of the Halloween season?
Yeah.
Very well could be.
Maybe so.
Very good. Because all right. And I mentioned Devil's Rejects. I can hear Joe Walsh's song Rocky Mountain Way, which is not scary at all. But where the insanity that was going on in that scene in the movie, kind of, it sticks with me, and I get a little bit eerie whenever I hear that song. So when I hear the Halloween, that elicits a scare. If I'm by myself. Now, if I'm partying, it's fun. It kind of just depends on the,
setting. Yeah, I agree. I think you can take soundtracks and songs from movies, and they will be scary on their own. But would have they been scary had it not been with the movie, or would have at least been as scary?
Yeah.
But I still think.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say I still don't think that just a song on its own, without any kind of context, without any kind of accompanying movie, I don't know that a song could scare anyone.
I don't know. I've heard a couple Luke Bryan songs of Florida Georgia Line that terrify me. But
well, Florida Georgia Line, yes, I could see that.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
So the ultimate showdown here: Silent Night versus Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree for all the marbles. Marbles. So maybe we revisit this particular topic, this music topic, in a couple months in regard to Christmas.
Speaking of which, we had a lot of Nightmare Before Christmas mentions tonight. Is it a Christmas or a Halloween movie? That might come up when we get to we did Christmas in July.
Yeah.
And we said we promised we would revisit Christmas during the actual traditional Christmas season.
So you add another one to that triumvirate there. Silent Night, Rockin' Around Christmas Tree versus Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
I'll throw one in there versus I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus.
Ooh.
Versus
Krampus is in your closet.
Versus I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas.
That is a good topic right there. Movie songs that enhance the movie. Or are there songs that came from soundtracks that became much bigger than the movie itself? There's a whole angle there.
Well, Brady mentioned Devil's Rejects. It's been a long time since I've seen that, but if I'm not mistaken, the ending of that movie, the big ending scene, Freebird is playing, and it's one of the, you got to wonder if they ever imagined Freebird being used in such a violent scene. But again, I think it adds to it. I mean, Freebird is not a violent song; it's the opposite of that.
Todd, do you see what I mean? Where that movie, it doesn't easily qualify as like a horror movie, but man, it just stays with you.
Oh yeah, I was going to bring this up on Aric's or Brady, your topic. One of the movies that scared me the most ever, and I wouldn't even put it up there as one of the scariest movies, but Stephen King, mentioning Stephen King, is The Mist.
Oh yeah.
Which I've always said the only person that can really do Stephen King movies well is Frank Darabont. He's the one who directed Green Mile, directed Shawshank, and he also directed The Mist. And that movie though, and Kirsten can, if Kirsten's still listening, she can kind of. I went to see it with Kirsten actually, and Ethan, my son, was young, and he was about the same age as a boy in the movie. And the ending of that movie, to this day, I've never felt, never had my ass kicked by the end of a movie as much as I did that movie. And I mean, I came home and slept in the bed with my 2-year-old son at the time because it was like I was so freaked out by the end of the movie. So again, it's just one of those things where it might not be the scariest movie for everyone, but however it affects you at that time. So,
So do you two concur with James's take there? With Freebird is a violent song if you're in a cover band.
Oh, definitely, yes. Not only is it impossible to do and do well, but then of course everybody yells it out. So,
Freebird, man,
twisting feel good things to make you cringe. Yeah, I mean it's.
And Kirsten almost said The Mist.
Yeah, I mean, Kirsten, you remember, like we walked out of that movie just completely deflated. We didn't. We literally didn't. And Kirsten, I probably told you that I went home, and again, I went home and told Sadie I was home and went and crawled in bed with Ethan, and just, I mean, it is just. And if you've never seen the movie, you would have to watch the movie. And I'm not even saying it's a great movie, you'll love it or anything else, but it just has one of the most, I guess, hopeless endings of a movie. It just, and to tell you how good it is, I mean, Stephen King pretty much, pardon my French, but to quote Stephen King, he had said, it was based on one of his stories, and he said he wished he'd had the balls to write the ending that Darabont put in the movie. I mean, so if Stephen King is saying I didn't even have the nerve to go there, I mean, it was pretty rough. So
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. Great topics, great show. Thank you all in the audience there for your input. It greatly added to what we did here, as it always does, and we appreciate you greatly.
Yes, we do.
Please keep coming back. You add to what we do.
Are we at 35? Right. Was this 35 or 34?
This was 34.
34.
34.
So same age as me.
Yes.
Okay.
the hell you say.
You agreed.
All right. Housekeeping duties once again. Audio. Find us on anchor.fm/play-by-ear podcast. The audio version of this will be released on Friday. So if you want to listen to us again, audio style in the car on the way to work or whatever, go to anchor.fm. We're on most every podcast provider out there, and the list is right there. And I won't go through them again, but Spotify is our biggest according to our numbers, but there are other big ones as well, Apple Podcasts being one. Video, again, we're currently broadcasting to YouTube, so if you go back to our YouTube channel, you can find the video there. It will be archived if you want to watch it again, or by all means, tell other people about us. They can go to YouTube and they can watch it. Social media, we're on Facebook at Play It By Ear Podcast, Twitter at Play It By Ear Pod 2. We're broadcasting there through the Periscope app as well. Instagram at Play It By Ear Podcast with underscores between all the words. Interact with us via email, playitbyearpodcast2020@gmail.com. You can leave a voice message at your podcast provider. There's a link there. And finally, my Oliver Twist take here. If you want to support us financially in what we do, go to anchor.fm/play-it-by-ear-podcast/support. We will take any support that you give us. Certainly, we like your comment support.
We'd like some more.
We'd like some more porridge, sir.
All
right. Gentlemen, anything else for the good of the order?
I don't think so. Everybody have a safe Halloween, a safe beggar's night.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson.
Do your studies before you go begging.
Yes, don't go begging without doing the studying first. All right, stay tuned down the line. We will be back here next Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. We'll send an invite out, and we'll do the live thing again for episode 35. Again, the audio version of this comes out on Friday. Our audio version of 34 is still out, as well as all of our previous episodes are out on the podcast providers. If you want to listen, kind of catch up. If you're a first timer today, I know James is the first time you've listened. If you want to listen to our past stuff, it's on our YouTube channel. Some of it's on Facebook. A lot of it's on the audio providers as well. So spread the word about us. Give us good reviews on Facebook. Give us good reviews on the podcast providers. That helps us out as well. So thank you very much, and we'll see you down the road.
Give him my Chuck Woolery send-off.
You didn't say it.
Be back in 2 and 2.
2 and 2. Peace.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Play It By Ear podcast. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter at Play It By Ear Pod 2, and our website at anchor.fm/Play It By Ear podcast. Thanks again, and join us next time as we play it by ear.